So I really don't think Trump's going to last the 4 years, as this is a new photo of Trump coming in from Reuters. And you can see it for yourself. The dude looks unwell. And you can talk both mentally, physically, politically, right? Socially, all around. He's unwell. And he's making these like bizarre gestures. They took a photo of it. He's usually really orange. These days, in this, at least this photo, he comes across kind of green. And so I just think something's seriously wrong with him, again, both physically and mentally, as he likes to brag that he passed a bunch of cognitive tests, I think 3, but they only give it to you if you're like worried about you. This is Laura Loomer. This is one of the big MAGA people, right? And she's tweeting out, new meme just dropped. That's Trumpers there. Something's not right with the guy. And I also want to show you guys that unfortunately, he's, head of the clown car, I guess you could say. And as I tell you, it's a clown car with guns. So it is dangerous. For example, Fox News is now reporting breaking Trump White House weighs, quote, range of options, including military over Greenland. The president has repeatedly said Greenland is a national security priority. So, we just kidnapped the President Maduro of Venezuela, him and his wife, and now doing some sort of trial with that. And we're talking about surrounding and circling Venezuela. Stephen Miller talks about these things and saying that Venezuela needs permission from the USA to do commerce. It's just the whole thing's whacked out. But then when you see like who these people are, that's why I have to show you who Trump is. It's like that's the dude, eating McDonald's all the time. For real. Like when you describe this stuff, it just sounds so crazy. Comes in late, right? And leaves early, sleeps in meetings, watches Fox News all day, and then goes play golf on the weekends and does like weird, crazy crap. He surrounds himself with people like, this is Stephen Miller's wife, who tweets out this stuff threatening Greenland. And so then when you see the stories of like, wow, they're thinking about military action, you never know with these whacked out people. This is some more here. Listen to this.
And you see, I want to be more, but I have somebody watching. I want to be more effusive. I want to really, yeah. But she gets it, and drops the thing, walks off the stage crying. Her mother's crying, her father's crying. Guy gets up. He said, have you lifted before? A little bit. And he walks up, bing. He could have gone ding, 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 ding. I think it was 112 pounds, right?
And there's not much else I need to say other than just literally show you who this dude is. It's whacked out, man. You also have this. The White House says President Trump is weighing using U.S. military to acquire Greenland. And I guess the phrase is here, I'll just read it. President Trump has made it well known that acquiring Greenland is a national security priority of the United States, and it's vital to deter our adversaries in the Arctic region. The president's team are discussing a range of options to pursue this important foreign policy goal, at least according to them. And of course, utilizing the U.S. military is always an option at the commander-in-chief's disposal. So that's a White House statement, and basically they're threatening our allies, which is nuts. And then you have like this weird whacked out stuff because like I have to show you like what these people are, what they are doing and when they meet and stuff like that. And then this is sort of like their inner struggles with each other. This is Laura Loomer. She writes, I have reached out to both the Department of, Defense, and she calls it war, but it's defense, and White House with a request for a comment about Tucker Carlson's absurd claims that President Trump conducted airstrikes in Venezuela and captured Nicolas Maduro to spread, quote, global homo. Since Maduro is opposed to gay marriage, we need to know how the Department, of Defense and White House feel about these remarks. These are actual discussions in Republican circles, like, okay, are we spreading global homo or not? Yes, these people really are insane. They really are insane. They tweet out this kind of stuff, or they make jokes about attacking Greenland. And guys, I just want to let you know that not everyone is insane out there in the world. Please see my last video. This is President Lee here in Korea Him and his wife actually went to go meet President Xi, and they were like taking selfies and stuff with President Xi and his wife. And she actually looks like a, normal person in this stuff, because usually he doesn't show much emotion or anything. And this is the messaging. I just want to show you, because you get used to the weird Trumpy messaging. This is the messaging from Korea, like out in social media. The video quality is definitely good, right? And that should be probably the right photo. A selfie with President Xi Jinping and his wife, taken with the Xiaomi I received as a gift in Gyeongju. Thanks to that, I managed to get the perfect shot. And he's even adding in kind of jokey sounds. The closer we meet, the more Korean-China relations ease up. We will communicate more often and cooperate even more in the future. And that was translation, and he put smiley faces and such. This is the diplomacy that we're seeing here in Korea as we're moving forward. And USA is like, oh, we're going to buy Greenland. We're going to attack Greenland. Military options are on the table because we're strong, right? And then you see the memes of the dude, and that's how they play things. It is just, it's so absurd, And it's funny because whenever we talk about this stuff, I read all of your comments, and people say, should I laugh? Should I cry? Should I be angry? How do you respond to this stuff? I just show you what it is. You can decide how you want to respond. I think this stuff's crazy. I can get upset, and guys, there's lots of things to get upset with Trump, but just most important thing, just show you who he is so you can see it. This is how he refers to foreign leaders. So while China and Korea are building up relationships, Trump will mock other countries. Listen to this.
And I said, so you're going to do it, Emmanuel? No, I'm not. I said, okay, here's the story, Emmanuel. If on Monday you haven't agreed to every single thing that we want, I'm putting a 25% tariff on everything coming out of France, including your wines, your champagnes, and everything else. No, you cannot do that. I said, I can do that, and I will do that. Even for national security, I'll do that, but this is for medical security, and 100%. Now, let me explain. The tariff I'm imposing on you is 42 times more expensive than what I'm asking for you in return. So you can either have a 25% tariff added on to you, like I did with China on fentanyl. I put a 20% penalty tax on China, and it's drying up because the tax is far more than they make with fentanyl. But with the other nations, I said, you're going to do it. And you know what he said? You can't do that to me. I said, yes, I can. Don't worry about it. It's not going to be that bad. You just have to explain it to your people, your 39 million people.
And that's how the dude talks. I just want you to see the contrast, right? While other countries are building friendships, partnerships, business relationships, right? Diplomacy. Trump mocks people, threatens people, we're going to attack you, and then makes fun of them in public. And all the Republicans are, oh, so funny. Make fun of France. Oh, good idea. Yeah, let's make fun of other countries. This is why the USA is a laughingstock, and when people are pulling away, do you want to do business with a dude like this? Of course not, right? And this is just who these people are. And then he claims that we're all rich and stuff off of tariffs, which is really bizarre. I guess we found a bunch of money, according to Trump. Listen to this.
We're getting rich because of tariffs, by the way. I hope everyone understands that. They hate to report. We're going to have over $650 billion poured into our country or coming in shortly because of tariffs. They're finding all of these pockets of money. A couple of weeks ago, sir, we're off by $39 billion. Oh, is that good or bad? Meaning, do we have it or are we short of it? Sir, it's $39 billion that we can't account for. That means we have an extra 39. Yes, sir. I said, well, what are you saying? We just don't know where it came from. I said, check the tariff shelf. Sir, that tariff doesn't start until September. He said, no. It started about a month and a half ago. Check it. Comes back 25 minutes later. Sir, you were right. It came from tariffs. This never happened to us before, where we find plus 39 billion, not million, plus 39 billion. They were missing. We've taken in $650 billion or shortcoming, and that's because I'm being nice. If I want to be, and we have national security because of tariffs.
And how do you read this stuff? So, one reading I was thinking in my mind, and you never know what Trump's talking about, is that maybe he has fights with his advisors, and his advisors, leave the room and say, okay, let's make up some cockamamie story to manipulate Trump. Okay, good idea. And then they come in and do that. Or Trump's just hearing voices, or this all comes from his imagination. I really don't know. But something's seriously wrong with the dude, and obviously you wouldn't want this dude as president, but this is where we're at right now. You also have this, and I want to show you some pushback on the Greenland thing. I'll listen to what locals then had to say.
Let's get a reaction from Denmark. Rasmus Jarlow is a member of the Danish Parliament, joining us live from Copenhagen. And let's start with the White House Deputy Chief of Staff's comments there. What is your response to Stephen Miller when he openly questions Denmark's territorial claim over Greenland?
I will try to say this as politely as I can, but it is quite shocking that a person who's in charge of this completely illegitimate land claim on Greenland knows so little about the history and the background of why Greenland belongs to Denmark. The United States themselves have signed at least 3 treaties where they recognize Greenland as part of Denmark. They did it in 1917 when we sold the U.S. Virgin Islands to the United States. Part of that treaty was that they should recognize Greenland as part of Denmark. It has been approved in New York in the UN Plenary Assembly by the entire world that Greenland is integrated into Denmark. And the history goes all the way back to Viking times, when the Vikings settled in Greenland in 982. And since 1380, so for 646 years, Greenland has belonged to Denmark.
And I show you this kind of stuff because it's important to understand if you want to build relations with other countries, learn their language, learn their culture, learn their history. You can understand it much, much better. Have good relationships is better than not. The Trump and the U.S. point of view is just bomb everyone and forget about history and we'll just make up crap. And this is also coincides with like Trump and Musk constantly attacking universities, and why I'm so against much what they do there, because as I always tell you guys, like learning about other cultures and peoples is important. This is how you can push forward together. I also want to show you this. This is a more pushback regarding the Greenland thing. This is a joint statement on Greenland. So it's coming in from France, Germany, Italy, Poland, Spain, the UK, Denmark, and Greenland. It says NATO has made clear that the Arctic region is a priority and the European allies are stepping up. We and many other allies have increased our presence, activities, and investments to keep the Arctic safe and to deter adversaries. The Kingdom of Denmark, including Greenland, is part of NATO. Essentially what they're saying. And it's interesting. I noticed that Rubio's then trying to roll this stuff back a bit. Coming from the Wall Street Journal, they say exclusive. Secretary Marco Rubio told lawmakers in a closed briefing that President Trump wants to buy Greenland and that recent threats are meant to push Denmark into negotiations. So that's how they're trying to play it off, as like, okay, Trump's just using the military to threaten you, but he really just wants to buy it. Who knows with this stuff? I just think, like I said, I think Rubio's just trying to roll this stuff back. But either way, I mean, all these people are completely incompetent and insane. It should be obvious to anyone looking on. I think even MAGA people can realize that this is whacked out. And even Laura Loomer, who is a, MAGA person. So she won't necessarily criticize this. She'll just definitely acknowledge that it exists. And essentially, when you're silent on saying, hey, man, there's something, this guy is unwell, you end up being complicit in it. So do be on the right side of history of this stuff. And guys, I totally understand. It's like, do we laugh? Do we cry? We're angry? Like, how do we treat this stuff? It's just so weird because we haven't had this before. I mean, I don't think I've seen any American president act like Trump, and he's like so far out of bounds. So that's my thoughts. I'd like to hear yours, and I'll catch you all in the next video.